Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. EDC Survival Prep Haul. So let's just do a roundup of everything I've got approximately in the last 30 days or so. Some stuff you've already seen a video for. I'll let you know if there's something that already exists or if there's something that's coming up that you should check out. This item, I've been waiting to get my paws on for 2 years. There's a lot of stuff in this shot, but I'm specifically talking about the laptop sleeve itself. This is the laptop sleeve by Brown Buffalo. Now, they used to call this the Mod 1, and they had another one that was called the Mod 2 that stuck on the front. I think they're getting away from that naming convention. It took so long to get this because they were manufacturing these in America, made in America, and they sold these by hand. And it took, I mean, there's only so many people that worked in the warehouse in California, so they were just always sold out. The owner of the company, he strived to expand availability of his products. Thank you so much, because he flew to Cambodia. He went to a manufacturing plant. He actually wanted to see the employees to make sure that they were going to be sewing by hand, up to his standards, teaching them his techniques. Now you can get these more readily available. That does mean that they're made in Cambodia instead of made in America, but the price didn't go up. They're available now, and I needed this because this thing is a laptop sleeve, but it has a hook back. That means that if you have a modular bag, which a lot of us use modular bags that have complete loop panels. So this is the entire back of this bag is a loop panel. That is by Eberly stock. I have bags by Brown Buffalo that have complete loop panels. So what does that mean? That means that every time I want to switch a bag, which you may not have this problem because you don't switch bags often, or every time I want to change a bag up, I'm very limited because there's no force organization in those bags. Well, this laptop sleeve allows me to move it from bag to bag, take it out of the bag, whatever. And I like that. Okay, this works in my Brown Buffalo. It works in my Eberly stock. I have the Vertex Ready Pack 3.0. It works in this as well. It can fit up to a 15-inch laptop. Right now I have an iPad Pro in here, but it works just well. The very front of it has loop panel as well, so you can put your REs or you can put other stuff on the front. You see I have accessories on here from Eberly stock. This is an accessory from Vertex, a little med pack that I put together. That way you can customize this how you see fit, and it's only 55 bucks. This is one of my favorite hauls for the month of April/early May. So excited about it. Give me a pat on the back. Say attaboy in the chat, because I'm so happy I actually got my phalanges on that bad boy. Next, we got to talk about the Meze 105 Air. Now listen, there's something about rich sounding, versatile headphones, things that sound really, really good. Up until this point, my go-to headphone for listening to music in a rich way was the Meze 99 Classic Norse. I got these on a drop from drop.com, and I've had these for 4 years. I bought these with my own money. They're starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. They still sound really good. My ear cups are a little beat up. You know, one of the cups doesn't work right anymore because my kids dropped it on the floor so many times. Fast forward, 105 Air, which is supposed to be the sweet spot between their super ultra premium, like $800 headphones, and the 99 Norse. These come in about 400 bucks. These have fantastic mids. They sound good with any musical genre. The difference with these and the 99s is these are open back, so that I can still hear the world around me just a little bit, but the world around me incorporates with these actual headphones themselves, and they sound really, really good. I've taken these on airplanes, which are noisy. I still can enjoy my music, and I can hear the actual flight attendant ask me, do I want to get something to drink or eat? The person next to me doesn't have to touch me to go to the restroom. I can still hear around me, and I can wear these in a work environment because they sound extremely well. I can hear myself right now talking, which a lot of closed back does not allow for that. These things feel so good, you forget that you're wearing them. I'm going to do a full review on these. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to take the boom mic. I have a lot of Teams meeting on my work trip. I'm going to see how well these work together to see, is this something that can be viable for work use or for gaming use as well. And it's so crazy because everything that I got for the month of April, some stuff I wasn't excited about as others, but today's video sponsor Veer and their S3 Field White watch is something I got in very, very early early April, and I've been enjoying quite a bit. This is the S3 Calendar Field White. This is in 36 millimeter Ameriquartz. Here's the thing. This watch itself, I like the price point on it. I've talked about this before. I want you to find me a watch that is below $200. That includes a sapphire crystal glass, a lockdown screw down crown, a beautiful signature on the crown itself. You actually have common 20 millimeter stylings and watch bands that you can use. It has high grade stainless steel to put this thing together. Find me a watch that has those same specs. And oh, by the way, it does have the date calculation on there so that you can know what date it is. This is a very good value in my book. I have the 36 millimeter small retro look. I think that fits well. I've talked about this plenty of time. I'm so happy that Vare's a long-time channel sponsor because I have other watch brands. And whenever I'm trying to take a dump on smartwatches, I want to do it with a brand that if you get your hands on them, you're going to say X. I'm glad I retired my smartwatch and gave an analog watch a go. You still get 2 watch straps if you order this watch, just like any other Vare watch. You can use the link that you see on the screen to get 10% off this watch or any other eligible watch that you find on Vare's website. I decided to get this one with the upgraded NATO strap. So it's a pass-through strap. I think it looks extremely classic. I think it looks really good. For this to be one of their budget watches, I think it has really good lume on it as well, which is the luminescence that you can see when it's in a dark environment. I love the fact that it is a quartz movement. That means that the reserve time on this thing is crazy good. If you don't wear this, you have other watches that you use or wear all the time. When you pull this bad boy out of the box or whatever, wherever you keep this thing, this Japanese quartz movement is going to thoroughly impress you with its standby time. Now, the thing is that if you have a wrist that's similar to mine, I do recommend the 36 millimeter. You can also get the S5 quartz, which is a 40 millimeter. That might work well for you as well. Either one of those, same price, doesn't matter which one you get. I just like the 36 a little bit more. The contrast on this makes me feel very, very good inside. Shout out to Vare for sponsoring today's video. And yes, they are part of the EDC haul for the month of April because that's when I got this watch. Now, the MagSatch 11, let me tell you, this thing, it's $189. Let's get that out the way. It's made in America with foreign and domestic parts. It's wax canvas. It has genuine high quality leather on this bad boy. I love grabbing this, throwing the flap open, throwing an iPad in here for the kids, some snacks, some baby wipes, some diapers, and just getting out the door. The month of May in this household, in the MarineX household, is crazy busy every single year. End of school, people trying out for stuff for the next year, cheerleaders, MMA, all sorts of stuff. This is my grab and go that's been used recently, and I've been enjoying this quite a bit. It can fit in an 11-inch iPad, so an 11-inch tablet will go in here easily. And if you don't want to close the zipper every time, this is what I like about it the most. The flap, the magnets on the flap, they stay still. That way I can leave the zipper open, because you shouldn't really do that because you can grab it and things can flop out or it can rain on it. But listen, I don't care about any of that shit. I primarily just want to be able to grab and get my stuff quickly, and they killed it with this one. You can also take off these the actual carry strap itself and then kind of treat it like a little satchel or treat it like a big old pouch. It's well made. Not gonna lie to you, nutsack. I don't know if I'm gonna do a video on this one. Now, that's one of those bangers that I necessarily didn't know was gonna be coming, but I did know about the Vertex Siege 25 liter. I did a full review on this. You can find that on my channel. This one came out in early April, or it came out late April. I got it in early April. I was able to test this out. This has become my new rucking bag. Okay, so before, over my shoulder, we have the GoRuck GR2 Dyneema. That bag was my rucking bag for quite a while. I took this one and moved everything into it just for testing purposes. And I'm sorry to say I like it a lot. 25 liters. It does have a smaller brother in the form of a sling, which I think is 10 liters or something like that. I don't have the sling, so I don't really know. A few complaints about it. mainly that the front of it becomes convex when you stuff it with stuff. And so the molly in the front sometimes can become useless if you put too much stuff in that front stuff pocket. But other than that, this tactical bag, if you're trying to go tactical, you just don't give a F about the look, you want to go all the way, this bag has impressed me quite a bit. It is over $200. I will wait to grab it on a sale. But if you know you want it now, you need it for some type of kit that you're putting together, it is a CCW bag. You can put an AR pistol in there, a smaller AR in there. So if that's something that you want to do, then you might decide to just go and forth and make that purchase right now as we see fit. Now, this is the Dapson 600L thing out. I've taken this to the beach, took this to Galveston, Texas to the beach. I've stuck in this on the floor of a minivan so that my teenagers and my kids could use this to charge their devices on the road. I've used this to drain the pool several times. I've used this thing inside the man cave to charge stuff. I've used this to run my Wi-Fi when we lost power for a couple of hours. I've used this thing a lot. This is the 600L. That means it does 600 watts output on the inverter. It can surge up to 1200 watts. It has a 768 watt hour capacity. What does that mean? It's competing with the EcoFlow River 2 Pro. It's smaller, it's sleeker, and it's newer, meaning that I think it performs better because it doesn't blast the fans as quickly as the EcoFlow does. But I will say I'm really enjoying this so far, man. It does have 2 AC ports on the inverter. I think that the EcoFlow has more, but it does have 2 USB-C ports, which the EcoFlow does not have that many. It does have 2 USB-A ports. It has a usable light. Like, this is a light that I've actually used. I've used this light when I was trying to grab a sump pump out of my pool, and I just wanted to get just a little bit extra light, and I didn't have a flashlight in my front left pocket like I normally do. This is a usable light because when you turn the light on, you can actually turn it on and face the light face the entire unit towards the object that you're trying to pick it up. So a lot of times on these units, when it has flashlights, I don't use them. I actually use this one. It does have a DC port, which can do 10 amp output. Actually, this thing is labeled, 10 amp output, which I've drained and tested that out. I'll tell you about that in my full testing. And it does have a barrel port as well if you need barrel ports, which I still use those for some of my YouTube equipment, but this thing is great. So Dapson, good job for filling that gap between the 300 watt hour units and the 1 kilowatt units. I think that's a good gap filler, and you're definitely competing with Blue Eddy and EcoFlow with that unit. Speaking of competing for stuff that you may have not heard of, this is called the Euroflamp. Horrible name, and it's ugly AF. However, the Euroflamp U1 flashlight has a Bluetooth speaker. It's only 5 watts, but it is a speaker. It has an auxiliary light, which I quite use a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this auxiliary light, you can push this button and it gives you just enough light to kind of just set the mood. So if you have this on a coffee table near your barbecue or in a campsite, as the auxiliary light will just illuminate that area so people can see where they're grabbing a cigar cutter, or if they're trying to light something on a table, or if they're trying to grab their cell phone and plug it into a charging port. Just enough light for that type of stuff. But it also includes a regular flashlight, which can go up to 2,300 lumens. It is decently bright, okay? So the flashlight does have multiple modes on it. So you can get it up. It actually is very bright flashlight. It's like a mixture with a spot and a flood beam. And then as I mentioned before, it does have a 5 watt speaker, which is good enough for like talk radio and stuff like that. Built inside of this is 2 21700 batteries. They're side by side. That makes this thing a 10,000 milliamp hour flashlight, which means that this thing can output 15 watts of fast charging to your other devices. So this thing can charge itself 15 watts, and it can also output and charge your phones and shit like that. So that might be something that you're interested in. So I'm kind of shitting on the product itself because it's kind of ugly. It doesn't, the speaker's nothing to write home to mom about. But you know what? It's only $49 on Kickstarter. I'm not going to do a video on this because I do have a lot of reservations on doing videos on Kickstarter projects. It's fully funded, but I want to see the stuff go from production and start getting delivered to viewers and customers before I do a video. So if they actually go to production and they start to deliver this in July, I'll do a video. If not, this is the only time you're ever going to hear about it. So That's the Euroflap U1. Horrible name, as I mentioned before, but not a decent name here is the Loop Gear. This is the SK05 Pro. Now, here's the thing. SK05 Pro by Loop Gear. I had never heard of Loop Gear. I saw a Talon Size video, and I'm sorry, but the next flashlight we're going to be talking about, and it's so unfortunate for the next flashlight because this one is pretty decent. The floodlight gets 3060, so 3060 lumens. The spotlight gets 1300 lumens. It has a beam distance that goes over 400 meters. And overall, this thing is very, very easy to use. When it's in lockout mode, you can still access a red light. It has very clear, easy to read stuff on the side. So you have lockout, flood beam, spot beam, and then you have full use of this light in the very front. So when you go to these different modes, you can actually turn on that's the flood beam, that's the spot beam, and then when I switch it over, it goes into this auxiliary light in the very, very front. This light uses the entire LED strip. You can adjust it by just holding down on the side button. You can switch back to the flood beam. You don't have to push the button to switch back. You just switch the actual thing around and it goes back to the flood. It goes to the spot, it goes to the spot, goes to the flood, or you can go back to lockout mode. This thing is really well done, okay? I think it includes two 18650s or two 21700s. I don't really remember, but it is $149. It's $119 right now. On Amazon, there's usually a clickable coupon that gets it near $100. I like this. They call it half palm size. I don't know about that. I have decent sized hands. This is a full palm size flashlight. So it doesn't feel comfortable in your pocket, but it works well. If you really want to stuff it in a pocket, it will work, but I wouldn't put it in my pocket. It's good for a pouch. It's good for a backpack. I got the Wubin X4. The Wubin X4 is funded on Kickstarter. Wubin has everything that they have ever funded on Kickstarter. They always make it to production. Okay, so I probably will do a video on this. I don't know about it yet. Here's the thing. This flashlight has a 1500 lumen output. It has a 3400 milliamp hour battery capacity. It has a magnetic base, just like the Loop Gear. They both have magnetic bases, except for the Loop Gear has a stronger magnet. The thing about this, it does have the switchable mode, just like the Loop Gear. But the thing is, I got this like the same day, and it sucks that I got it the same day because I noticed the features I don't like immediately. All right, so first thing we get here is you get used to this front strip, but you don't get the full strip because half of it is for RGBs. The other rest is for LED white. I noticed that with the Loop Gear, that kind of sucks, but you can go to RGB modes. The RGB modes is going to be 7 lights, just like the other flashlights that have been recently released by Wubin. You're going to have access to the different light settings, but you don't get the full LED strip. And then when you go to the very next point, you get the main flashlight itself. It starts off here, and you can turn it up. It's like a mixture of a flood and a flood and a spot, and it goes up to 1500 lumens. There is not a turbo mode on this flashlight. At least I haven't figured it out. Then the last mode is just a moonbeam mode. And the moonbeam mode is just that's about as bright as it goes. I think it's 1 or 2 lumens. Very, 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 very good to see if you need something like very light just to be able to see what's going on around you. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But right now, the X4, the magnet's not as strong. I kind of want you to slow down a little bit, Wubin. Y'all are coming up on your 9 or 10 year anniversary. I want y'all to slow down a little bit on your releases because you're almost getting into Olight territory with how fast you're releasing flashlights. Next is the Jack Wolf Diamondback Jack. Now, I did a full review on this. This is a fat carbon fiber knife with M390. Very, very good knife. It has a bolster lock, decent knife. Price point was a little high, but it does have some good features on it. So if you want to see more about this, I'll link the video up for you down below. So at full price, like I said before, I think that there are other knives that have more value. This is $350. I think you can find knives that are much more affordable if you're just looking for a gentleman style of knife that has a locking feature. There's Ohio River Jack. This is a new to me knife, but it's not new to the industry. This is the Benchmade Hidden Canyon. This is in the S90V. It has rich light scales. I got this on base on a sale. I think I spent $154 on it. This MSRP for $260. I thought that was a good deal. S90V for that premium steel. It is not a true 4-finger knife. You can get about 3 fingers on here comfortably. So I did have to do a hangman's noose and add a bead to it. I normally don't do that with knives, but I did that with this one because it just feels more comfortable when you do those small little features. Cuts really, really well. The sheath just doesn't give me the click that I want it to give me. It doesn't come out. It doesn't come out the sheath. But compared to some of like TKL Knives, Tour, Montana Knife Company, this sheath needs work. Even comparing it to one of my favorite sheaths right now, which is coming from Bradford, this sheath almost makes me feel like the knife could come out and slice me and cut me. But that's like my only complaint about this knife. Next, we do have the polished titanium knife from, this is from Three Rivers Manufacturing. This is the Neutron 2. They did it in polished titanium. They changed the pocket clip a little bit, and they gave you, you can still get it in a CPM 20 CV. I like this knife. I've been using it more since I did the video. I'll link that up for you down below as well. Next here we have, this is the Montana Knife Company, the Sear 25. Did a full review on this. This is now a part of my survival kit, but I purposely take it out of my survival kit and I'll throw it in my ruck kit, stop while I'm rucking and just find reasons to use this. If I'm starting a fire in my backyard, I'm finding reasons to use this. If I'm doing whatever, I'm looking for a reason to use this. This is a very well-made knife. It has completely replaced my Gerber double infantry knife as my go-to knife for doing little tasks around camp or little tasks around the house. The sheath is so god tier. Sounds fantastic. I cannot get enough of this bad boy. This is the haul. Oh my God. Did we get a fantastic haul? I would say hells yes, we did. What was your favorite item? Oh, we have an alibi. One alibi here is, this is the proof pen. I'm not gonna do a video on this proof because maybe I will, because right now I don't like your pen. It uses Write in the Rain refills. I don't like the way Write in the Rain ink works, except for when I'm writing in the rain, or if I'm trying to write on someone's back, or if I'm trying to write upside down. That's when you need Write in the Rain. You really, guys, you need to go with a Schmidt. You need to go with a G2. You need to go with a refill that people commonly use so that you could promote using this pen in an everyday carry, like journaling every morning. But if someone actually journals every day, they're not gonna like the way this pen feels. The ergonomics start to cut into your hand after you write for about 10 minutes, but it looks effing dope. But the price point is almost $150 or maybe a little bit below that. The refill, I'm gonna have to switch it out with a Schmidt refill immediately. Next on the list is my actual ring. This is from Project Ratchet, and you can hear this. This is a ring. You can wear it as a wedding ring. You can wear it as a index ring, whatever. But it's designed for you to fidget with. So a lot of times with our rings, we'll turn the entire ring around our finger when we're fidgeting or whatever. But there are times when I'm sitting around, I'm growing frustrated, whatever, and I will just take this, just give it a little spin. Just give it a little crank. And it looks like a normal wedding band. So this is their V2 ratchet ring. This is made of a stainless steel. It's about $189. That's the only thing that kind of makes me have a little bit of reservations. The price point's a little high. I also kind of wish they sent a size kit out to you. So I've worked with other brands before that have rings, like the Ultra Human ring. They send a size kit out, or you can buy their size kit on Amazon, figure out the sizing for the ring, and then you can buy the ring. This one doesn't have that, but they do offer sizing exchanges if you get the wrong one. But comment down below, let me know what your favorite thing was for this haul, because it was a hauly haul. There was a lot of things we got in the month of April. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the Battalion. Shout out to Vera for sponsoring this video once again, being a long-time channel sponsor. We do appreciate that. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.